Ah, la, I can't lie. La la, and I lie. Wow, get fun shit. But anyone who can pick, hit and dip. You know, one hit the split, go to space. Nothing here to duplicate to the jet. Beat you, Paula, no cheat, me, push the ma, if you broke, yeah, nothing sport. Just let me kill your market. This time, man, nigga, half it, bro. How you send for the you get cap and I go to your left, right in your front and your back. She coming through with the skunk in the lap. The AC sports so take all your blast. The woman's how often stay on your map, there, ma. Give me your this and your that. The hanky pinky that 6 for far. The sister pinky that 2 for far. She said, pick up pinky that 1 for far. Pull la, I will la, I can la, pull la. And I laugh. Wow, okay, for the team.
On my shit, take my drink, cut the shop, pull up, I'm stopping. Say my name, let me hear that. She was so cut out that she won't cut out that she keep cut out, but I laugh. That she take it all, that she take it all, that she take it all, but I laugh. She woke up for that she on drugs. She got be boss, she got be more. She got that in our fine, let me think about what she call them. I want her to get on boss. But I laugh, if I laugh, let me down. And I laugh, you will see that who down.
She won't off. She won't do remember it now. But yeah, I won't talk. I said to her, to it now. Yeah, but yeah, she left fast. She won't go 2 3 1. She won't buy shisha for Keisha and Lisa. Only get back for one. But I will laugh. I can't laugh. But and I laugh. Wow, okay, for the team where I laugh. You get mad, but you won't get to the club. But you can't pass. I mean, I just get out. You get car, but you get car keys in the club. Say you go rap it with Keisha and Lisha, but you not get money to sport. Oh la la, ah la, I can't laugh. Oh la, and I laugh. Wow, okay, for the shit.
ABC wanna pop a one if you get me a things that run funny ear.
ABC,
Up with the weights, I won't.
Live from the King's Building in Monrovia, Broad and Buchanan Street, this is
ABC 104.1
live from the King's Building in Monrovia, Broad and Buchanan Street, this is
ABC 104.1
Up with the weights, I won't.
All right, good evening. Welcome to another edition right here. Another edition, matter of fact, the climax edition for this week. Wherever you are and however you listen, I'd like to say welcome on the 7th day of April 2023. For the time exactly 15 and a half minutes down, 6 o'clock. I'd like to say welcome to another edition of the program Traffic Talk. Traffic Talk is a regular feature radio program. A 45 minutes radio program comes on every weekdays from Mondays to Fridays at about 6:15 to 6:45, 45 minutes of presentation. A program designed through the kind courtesy of the Atlantic Broadcasting Corporation to bring drivers to the consciousness, enlightening them about safe driving practices on how to conduct themselves as motorists within the traffic. Again, I'd like to say welcome. The name is Martin Fagans, your regular #1 driver, your tricycle guy, and also your pimping guy. The guy that brings drivers to the consciousness of reminding them of pedestrians, road end users, and other motorists within traffic. As usual, we bring you our theme song that is currently being played, followed by our driving quotations, and that of our safety tips, a word from our correspondent, and also hoping that today on this edition, we take a different trend. Today is the social edition, and on this edition, we allow you to fill us in with things within the traffic. So if you are a tricyclist, listen to this broadcast. Call us and tell us exactly things that has happened within the traffic that you care to bring to our attention. Trust me, those in the authorities and charged with the responsibilities to regulate and steer the affairs of things happening within the transport and traffic sector within this nation are always listening to this program. Be my guest. Stick and stay with me for the next 45 minutes. Let's have a sword time together. I'll be back after this theme song. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. First, we'd like to apologize for the change within our theme song. However, I'd like to say welcome back. And let's just go straight into the program because our man Seleman Jalo is awaiting our call to get us informed as to things that has unfolded within the transport traffic sector today. And so the drivers on the roads or highway is safe not when he or she reads the signs, but when he or she obeys them. It's not about it's not about how good of a driver you are. It's about the 5 to 2 seconds you take your eyes off the road. So don't risk it. This first one says, the driver on the road or highway is safe not when he or she reads the signs, but when he or she's obeyed them. What do we exactly mean? There are signs being erected along the way through the kind courtesy of the Public Works Ministry, through the Traffic and Safety Department of that ministry, working in line with the Ministry of Education, Public Safety Department. These signs are there erected for you as a driver to have a clear understanding of how to conduct yourself and that of your speed and other things within the traffic. But you're not just a driver when you see the signs and read them. Understanding them is one thing, but obeying them is another thing. And so as a driver, what makes you a good driver is not when you read the signs, but how you apply them. So your driving practices makes you a good driver. And the second one says, not about how good of a driver you are. It is about the 5 to 2 seconds you take your eyes off the road. So don't risk it. What do we mean? Your car may be in check, your brakes, everything is in check. Your car is brand new, right? So there's no fault, no problem. Granted. What makes you a better driver is how attentive you are. You may have the best reflexes, good brakes and all that. But whenever you take your eyes off the road, the 2 or 5 seconds you do that, you run to another motor vehicle or another moving object becomes a problem for you. So yeah, your car is in check. Everything on your car is okay and all that. But hey, don't be so, comfortable and so relaxed and say, yeah, my car brakes is in check. It's a brand new car, so to speak, yeah? I can take my eyes on the road and make a phone call and talk to Jay Fine or maybe Tio. But in doing so, bam, into Martin Fagans' car accident and I take you to the public safety department, we'll take you to jail. So be attentive at all time. So those are our traffic safety quotations for today. We bring you our traffic safety tips. We'll take a breather, link up our guy Suleiman Jallo to bring us up to speed as to what is unfolding within the traffic station. Live from the King's Building in Monrovia, Broad Buchanan Street, this is
ABC
105.1. And so we have on the line our correspondent, our ever-potent correspondent, the man who is climaxing the facts very surely in the space of a week or two. Alhamdulillah, my brother Jalaman Fato. Jarama. Koto, Jarama. Nalakto.
No heavy.
Heavy. Okay, and right there, let's go English now. Talk about English.
I just speak English.
My man, you have to try, my man. Let's go live on the program. Let's go. Yeah, bring us up to speed. You sent me a couple of pictures today, exactly around the 72nd area. That's the 72nd Boulevard, linking or the Topman, the Topman Boulevard. Go ahead, bring us up to speed.
Let me say good evening to you, Martin Fagan, and good evening to many listeners of ABC Radio. And it is just as I sent in the photos around 2 o'clock this afternoon.
On your way home?
No, on my way to town.
To town, okay.
Along the 72nd Topman Boulevard Junction.
Right.
Opposite the Spicy Bar.
Mm-hmm.
There was an accident that involved...
Are you talking about the famous Ghana Chop Bar on the boulevard that leads to 72nd to Topman Boulevard?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a club along the way and named Spicy Bar.
Mm-hmm.
There was an accident involved 2 SUV vehicles and one Nissan taxi.
When you say SUV, the Labrimbo now says Jeep. That Jeep you talking about? Jeep?
Yeah, Jeep.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Jeep, 2 Jeep and then Nissan taxi. And then according to source eyewitness, I interviewed one of the police officers on the scene.
Okay.
He told me that the accident occurred due to the tire burst from the Nissan taxi, and then unfortunately the driver must brake.
He lost control.
He lost control, and the 2 SUV vehicles were parked across the road, and he immediately hit the 2 vehicles. And then the first vehicle was badly injured. It could not come on, and engine burst. There was a huge waste of fuel that's in the scene, and the other vehicle only injured at the back as the backlight brake. That was the only injury. And I asked him where is the driver as we speak, and I was told the driver was taken to nearby clinic. Just now I reached there, and then the 2 vehicles, let me say all the vehicles are already taken to maybe to the Zone 5 depot or to any other location. But as it stands, we need to keep reminding our drivers for vehicle maintenance, because you cannot ride the vehicles without checking the proper tires being on the vehicle. Because
if the tires are faulty, you as a driver, you will have an insight. You will see it if you are a very good driver.
Sure. And then I think we should keep calling the LNP to keep monitoring vehicles plying the road, because you cannot mind the engine of the vehicle or the body of the vehicle
and forget other components that makes up the vehicle, right?
Proper checking of the vehicle.
Right. Every component on that vehicle matters. The tires, everything contributes to the movement freely of that vehicle. So everything needs to be checked properly.
And then also, and also around 8th to 8th Street, there was an accident also involving a motorcycle and a vehicle.
Are you talking about today?
Yeah, but it also keep on coming in my mind. There was a time where the government through the LNP instituted that no-go zone for motorbikes, but unfortunately it only happened for a month. Then later on, we start seeing motorbike plying the central business district around town.
Okay.
Which, and I think of which the police need to put under control, because those motorbike riders, most of them, they're not responsible.
Right.
See, they're not responsible, and I think it is important for the LNP or the government, through the Ministry of Justice, to see how best they can institute a law that there should be no-go zone for motorbike riders, especially commercial riders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you went on the scene, were you able to talk to the investigating officer, the traffic investigating officer on the scene? What did he tell you? What prompted the accident? Was it attributed to the tire's failure, or the vehicle was faulty beyond all the necessary rules?
When I asked the police officer on the scene, he told me that the accident occurred due to the burst of the tire. So the driver lost control. He feared, and unfortunately, the incident occurred.
Okay.
And he sustained some injuries, and he was taken to the nearby clinic.
Were there any casualties from passengers on board or pedestrians walking alongside the sidewalk?
No. I didn't get any information regarding that.
How damaged were the two vehicles in question?
I sent you the photos. When the first vehicle that was hit by the taxi.
I know, right? For the benefit of the doubt of the audience listening, I've seen the photos, right? You, as the correspondent, describe the damage of the vehicles out there.
Okay, and then for the first vehicle that was hit directly by the taxi, it was injured, like I said, the front, the vehicle cannot move as I speak, it will not come on. In fact, then the second vehicle that was hit indirectly by the taxi was only damaged at the back, like one of the back tire, the backlight burst, and that was only faulty, I say, in the vehicle. And I was there. The owner of that vehicle come and move the vehicle. He come all the way to Sesame Second Town and say, okay, the vehicle is moving. But it was also have to do with there was somebody that was saying within the next 1 month, after 1 month, the engine got affected, because you interested to know that the vehicle was in gear, and after hit, it moved to 6 feet before it started by its own.
Okay.
Without nobody riding it.
Can you say that again? It hit another car and moved 6 feet and her before it stopped by itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, well, with all that you've cataloged and brought to our attention, what would be your advice to the Liberian National Police, Public Safety Department, Chief of Traffic, drivers, and all those driving with faulty cars? You are the one out there seeing these things. What's your advice?
My advice always remains the same, right? Drivers, you should not only think about my vehicle is moving here and they're taking me to my destination that I want to reach. It also has to be a concern, the welfare of your vehicle, because if your vehicle is not roadworthy, you'll not predict what will happen along the way while moving. It is always important as a driver or as the owner of the vehicle or the machine to make sure the machine is in good condition before you put it on the road. Okay. Especially in the capital city of Monrovia.
Okay. I can tell that you are applying all rules, all safety rules, because you just gotten yourself a new bike. I saw you with your helmet today, properly attired.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Thank you so much for being a good traffic talk rider.
My my full singlet are functioning very well, and the horn as well. So yes, I'm obeying the traffic rules and regulations.
You know who's going to arrest you and pull you over? You don't have all this stuff. Me.
No.
I will pull you over and check you for all your stuff. You don't have your helmet, your registration paper. If all of your things don't work, your lights and your signal light, I will pull you over. You know the reason why?
No problem.
You want to know the reason why? You want to know the reason why? Do you want to know the reason why I will pull you over?
No, sir.
Because you are a correspondent on Traffic Talk. We regulate things and we enlighten drivers and riders. So you have to observe all rules. We lead by example.
I will always try to make sure I obey the rules and regulations of the traffic.
Alhamdulillah. Mashallah.
Thank you. Have a blessed weekend.
Jarama Fatu. Okay. My dear brother and friend there, Suleiman Jallo, bringing us up to speed as to what has happened within the traffic around the Boulevard area. Look, the thing is, you as a driver, right? And there is the thing. This is my piece of advice to you. As a driver, nowadays the cars are so modern that even on your board, your how do we call this thing? Your dashboard. It has lots of things that brings you up to speed. If your tire is flat, you will know from the dashboard. It will tell you, yeah, these cars of modern days have all of these things within the dashboard. If your tires is flat, it will tell you on the dashboard, check your tires. If it's faulty, it will tell you. Learn to do a proper check of your vehicles. Never be in that hasty mood to get in the traffic because of a few dollars. Your life and the life of your passengers are also important. What affects you, your passenger, will affect people plying the streets as pedestrians as well. All right. The word from our correspondent there, Mr. Suleiman Jallo, bringing us up to speed. There was a terrible accident at Boulevard Junction. He said, not much casualties, but something that led to the destruction of a motor vehicle flying the streets. So let's bring you our safety tip before taking your phone calls this afternoon. Eye lead time. Eye lead time refers to the distance in seconds your eyes scan the road ahead for potential danger and other traffic malpractices. How do you do that? The book people got a word say anticipate what's ahead of you, as in predict what's ahead of you. So if you are a driver, your focus point should be what's ahead of you, because it's what you headed. And also what's behind you, because sure, in case you want to stop, you need to check what's behind you. But your main focus is what's ahead. If you don't check what's ahead, poses more danger to you as a driver. And in driving, it's called out lead time. Out lead time is what you check 2 to 3 feet ahead of you, anticipating the driver and predicting the driver ahead of you intentions. Once you are a good driver, you can tell if a driver is not driving the right way when he's ahead of you. And then you check behind you, sure in case. The reason you check in the back of your car is sure in case you want to put a passenger down like J-Fun stopping at ABC. And Tio is driving your car behind you. If you don't traffic hit, Tio wouldn't know that you want to put J-Fun down. So you have to check all these things and put all these things in the check, right? Awareness might seem similar to the early time, but awareness more than scanning the road ahead. You understand that, right? How aware you are of your surroundings as a driver, how aware you are as a driver, taking consideration of your surrounding puts you in a better decision to take decisions. If you are aware of what's ahead of you as a driver and aware of what's behind you as a driver, your decision making will be a bit accurate. How do I mean? Your calculation as a driver has to do with the driver ahead of you. If you're driving a 2-lane or a 3-lane road, we don't have 3-lane or 4-lane roads in Liberia, so let's just limit it to 2-lane roads, as in the Tottenham Boulevard and downtown Monrovia. What we call the fast lane is a traffic lane, right? The main lane, as in the fast lane. The park lane is the one where your car pulls over and then try to put the passenger down. As a driver, you must be aware of your surrounding if you're driving on a 2-lane road to know what's on your next opposite lane or on the lane adjacent to you called the parking lane. If you're not aware of your surroundings, trust me for sure, you're going to get involved in a serious accident. So awareness is similar to that of early time. A driver must learn to communicate with other motorists within the traffic. How do you do that? By trafficating, as in using your signal lights, and at night using your beam lights. Communication for driving is highly important for us as drivers. Always have an out, as in a way out. There are times that vehicle may be faulty and there are situations that brings you to that urgent decision making. Sometimes your brake fails, or at times your speed cable cuts, and these are situations that are inevitable within driving and you don't predict them, right? But as a sensible driver, you must always have a way out, an alternative plan. And so those are our traffic safety tips. 24 minutes climbing up to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is 45 minutes of news from our news and current affairs department here at ABC Radio 105.1. So right about now, we take a breather. We come back. We open up the phone lines to bring for you to bring us up to speed as to what's unfolding within the traffic. Stay tuned. The program is Traffic Talk, only on ABC Radio 105.1. Stay tuned. So to push your calls through to tell us what's happening within the traffic, call us on 0555 105 100, 0777 105 100, and be a part of today's broadcast. Stay tuned. And so we bring this one here by Davido from his latest and current efforts called Timeless. This one is called One for the Road. Until we do get your calls coming in on 0555 105 100 on the program Traffic Talk. This one is One for the Road, and I'm talking about taking some alcohol or other illegal substances. One for the road could be your Grampy, your cool water, and whatever it is you want to eat when you are stuck up in that congestion. Stay tuned. From the King's Building in Monrovia, broader Buchanan Street, this is
ABC 105.1 FM.
His name is Davido, OBO, the Tati Billion Gang CEO, from his latest and current effort called Timeless. That one is called One for the Road. And you drivers don't use that song as a means to go and take one for the road. Driving under the influence of alcohol is strictly prohibited, and under the influence of other high substances is highly prohibited. One for the road could be a water, peanuts, and other stuff that is legal to be done within the traffic. And so welcome back to another edition right here of the program Traffic Talk. Traffic Talk is a regular feature program that comes on every weekdays, Mondays to Fridays, at about 6:15 to 6:45. A program designed to bring drivers to the consciousness, enlightening them about malpractices and irregularities within the traffic. I'm your regular host and presenter, Martin Fagans, your number one driver and rider, always here at this hour. So if you want to be a part of the discussion, 0555 105 100, 0777 105 100 is those numbers that put you through. As a matter of fact, today's edition is dedicated to the two celebrants of the day, the crew queen, Mark Yassa, Jenny Nipson, our program director here at ABC, and Famata Woolley of our stars. And so quickly, let's just recap our driving quotations for the day, because quickly, the reason being we have to go for our commercials, read of announcements, and switch it from one power source to another just before our news. So stay tuned. The driver on the road or highway is safe not when he or she reads the signs on the road. Reading the signs is one thing, obeying them and applying them to your driving principles is another thing. So a driver on the road isn't a driver. It's not safe when he or she reads the sign. Reading is one thing, right? Understanding and applying them to your driving practices is another. So when you obey them, apply them, and respect them as a driver, makes you a better driver on the highway and puts you in a safer position to not cause problems. It's not about how good of a driver you are. It's about the 10 to 5 seconds you take your eyes off the road, so don't risk it as a good driver. You may have a good car, a very functionable car, a very good car, that is, but never be so relaxed and complacent knowing that your car is in check. So you can talk to XYZ in the passenger seat, bend down and pick up your cannon that fell down. That is total distraction. When you do these things, you risk your life and that of your passenger and those other road end users along the way. So always be attentive. And so this, I'd like to wrap it up to this edition of the program. The name is Kofa Fagans. Until I talk to you on another edition, stay safe, drive safe, and remember all safety rules. Goodbye. We switch from one power source to another energy fixation. Live from the King's Building in Monrovia, Broadway, Channel Street, this is
ABC 104.1 FM.